Well, in Canada, rising gas and car prices have fueled a spike in consumer prices in June. Annual inflation rose to 1.2%, but it's still low enough to cause a headache for the Bank of Canada and some small business owners too. CCTV's Kristiaan Yeo has more.
It's still in the slow lane, but consumer prices in Canada gained momentum in June thanks to the rising cost of car ownership. Annual inflation stood at 1.2% in June, up from 0.7% in May. Gasoline prices rose by 4.6%, whilst passenger vehicle price tags went up by 2%, as heavy springtime dealership discounts came to an end. Mortgage interest costs fell by almost 4%, and after months of steady falls in prices, clothing costs plateaued. That's a relief to small independent retailers like Sherry Petrie, who's seen prices in fashion retail plummet.
With all this rollback pricing that places like Walmart and H&M are doing, we just can't compete with that. It's going to reach a bottom because there's no way that they can manufacture for any cheaper than that now.
As big-name retailers ramp up the discounts to keep consumers coming through the doors, independent stores are struggling to compete on price point, a factor which is increasingly important to Canadians.
The fact is, there's only so many retail dollars that people can spend. So they're going to spend some of their money at Walmart and H&M and some of their money here at our independent stores.
Aggressive sales are increasingly common in Canada, whether it's clearance offers at clothing stores or cut-price mortgages. Retailers are working hard to combat shaky consumer confidence. And while it's great for spenders and borrowers, it's not so good for small businesses or for the overall Canadian economy.
Economists say Canada needs some inflation, and while the 1.2% level is within the Bank of Canada's target, it's still preventing the bank from raising baseline interest above 1% anytime soon. And while June's figures are a sign that inflation is starting to bounce back from the ultra-low levels seen in the spring, economists say Canada is still a long way off from steady growth. Kristiaan Yeo, CCTV, Toronto.